Wow, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 2, Episode 9, Jen Shah's full arrest, recorded by the producers of Bravo. Oh, gosh, she must die inside every time that comes out. Anyway, one of the things that there were a few things that really struck me in that episode, which is why I decided to do a video about it. I generally haven't been, but I am going to do it today because I found some things a little odd, frankly. First of all, when the FBI agents and the Homeland Security agents rolled up on the car that they were going away, I guess, to Vail in, I thought it was really strange that they said they just wanted to question Jen. Why were they saying that they wanted to question her and not arrest her? I thought that was strange. I did read a prosecutor document that said that they made it, she had argued in a document to the New York prosecutor's office that she didn't think she was being arrested at the time, and therefore she didn't realize she was waiving certain rights. It was one of her filings. And the prosecutor came back really hard. I actually covered it in the Patreon. And she, said, or they, I don't know why I made it a woman, but they came back, the New York prosecutor's office, and said that it was very clear that Jen Shah was being arrested. She was handcuffed to a chair. She was basically told that. But from watching the show footage last night, it didn't seem like he was arresting her, the gentleman who was talking. It seemed like they just wanted to ask her questions, the way they were approaching it. And they kept saying, is she okay? And where is she? And is she okay? So anyway, I'm going to let you listen to it for yourself, okay? I can't show you the video because of copyright. Okay, listen to what the cops say when they get there.
She threw that down that she might really know why.
They're all coming in now. I can't show it. Because it would be a copyright infringement.
If my husband was dying.
I would too. I'd be like, go, have a blast.
I can't believe these girls were so unaffected by a SWAT team coming in.
We're looking for Jen Shah.
She just left.
Can you just say if my husband were what?
You're dying.
So long.
Hi. Wait, that's police. We're good.
Hi.
Is the police here? What did you do? Heather.
I wonder why they all think Heather did something. It's weird.
NYPD.
What vehicle?
How many
What vehicle did she leave? Is that the vehicle she drove? The truck? What color?
Wow, they have SWAT team and stuff. What the heck? Oh. Is this a prank?
Wait, what the is going on?
To make sure she's okay.
We have to just talk to make sure she's okay. As far as we know, she's at the hospital. Okay, no problem. Is she okay, though?
Is this a prank? Is Jen playing
He's
a prank
asking.
on us, though?
Wait, hold on.
I'm reading it with the cop. I have the caption on, so I'm reading it probably. Homeland Security investigation. We need to speak to her, that's all. But it doesn't sound like he's arresting her, right? It sounds like they just want to ask her questions.
We just want to make sure she's okay and talk to her, that's all.
I'm scared of the popo in general, but this gave me.
Did you hear that?
This feels like SWAT team.
I guess later they did more than want to ask her some questions based on what the prosecutor filed. Because like I said, they read her rights. She said she was having trouble with her contact lenses. She couldn't see properly. They then worked to help her get her contact lenses fixed so that she could be made aware of what her wavering of her rights were. I guess, per the prosecutor's document that they filed, they read her, her rights document that she waived and to make sure that she understood it and that she had been, I guess, handcuffed. So they felt like they had identified clearly that she was being arrested. But I do see a little ambiguity in the footage of the show. I don't see him saying, now maybe they do this so, you don't warn them and they go on the run, but it does seem a little bit not forthright on the behalf of the FBI, I think. They can lie. They can actually, as long as they're trying to pursue a conviction, they can say anything they want, actually. to get someone to do something. That's the truth. If you don't know that, you should know that. Okay, now let's get into the rest of this episode. So Bravo made sure to show us the scene where Jen Shah is with Stuart, and up to this point, we've understood Stuart as her assistant. But suddenly in this scene, she calls him her partner. And she says that she has sacrificed her relationship with her children because she's had to be away at work so much, and that she really is jealous of Stuart, who's been able to stay home with his kids and have a close relationship with them while she had to go out, to do her different companies and businesses, which she had many of, she says in this scene, which was weird to me because I'm like, doesn't he work for you? So how is it that you have to go out and work, and be denied your children, but he doesn't, but you guys work for the same businesses? It was just strange. And then he also went from being her assistant to being her partner, which was, so he in this scene professes his undying loyalty to Jen. Jen says, he's always been there for her through thick and thin, and he's a very special friend of hers. I mean, obviously this scene doesn't age well if it was shot in chronological order with the arrest, because we both know that just a few hours or a few days later, they're both indicted. And he is certainly not indicted as her assistant. He's indicted as indeed her partner. So very strange scene to watch now, knowing that they end up getting indicted, and it's possible that they are going to be forced to testify against each other in order to get a plea deal. The rumor is that Stuart, although not confirmed, but the rumor is that Stuart is trying to do a plea deal, which would require him to flip on Jen Shah. So I don't know about that loyalty. Yeah, funny that an indictment, it just kills all the loyalty in the relationships that exist on the planet. You're not supposed to lie in a plea deal. However, when people are faced with, multiple years in jail, which will nuke their entire life and family, I mean, if I was on a jury, would struggle a little bit with someone who's done a plea deal testifying against someone, because they've been incentivized heavily. And I'm sure, I know that I really don't think that plea deals should exist, actually. I think that they corrupt our Justice Department, and the Supreme Court of the United States of America agrees with me. They believe that plea deals has actually destroyed the democracy of our country, because what made it so democratic was your right to a jury trial. And yeah, funny that an indictment, it just kills all the loyalty in the relationships that exist on the planet. You're not supposed to lie in a plea deal. However, when people are faced with, multiple years in jail, which will nuke their entire life and family, I mean, if I was on a jury, would struggle a little bit with someone who's done a plea deal testifying against someone, because they've been incentivized heavily. And I'm sure, I know that I really don't think that plea deals should exist, actually. I think that they corrupt our Justice Department, and the Supreme Court of the United States of America agrees with me. They believe that plea deals has actually destroyed the democracy of our country, because what made it so democratic was your right to a jury trial. Okay, one more thing. So just think about it. The idea of a bunch of your peers judging you is that someone, that to convince all of them of your guilt is supposedly a high threshold and is hard to do. And that was designed so that you couldn't be bullied or abused by a government. Right. So when you take away the jury trial and it becomes like a business transaction, you take away a component that was designed as a checks and balance system to protect people from being unfairly prosecuted. I say it because it is a really important thing, and we have a tendency to ignore some really important things in our world. Okay, so there you have it. Sorry, public service announcement. Okay. I don't know what to do about it, though. I don't know. Maybe our Supreme Court, I'm begging the Supreme Court to do something about it. Okay, so it's a very strange relationship, certainly, Stuart and Jen, and that's what we get out of this scene. Lisa apparently reaches out to Stu. It comes out on Watch What Happens Live, but he doesn't answer the phone. Some people have been speculating that Jen was talking to a family member when she got the phone call, that she suddenly had to go see Coach Shah because he had internal bleeding. Some people were saying that, so it was like a relative, like, come meet me, this is going down. Or some people said that it was Stu calling and kind of giving her a heads up. Anyway, hopefully it'll work out for Jen Shah. She's definitely facing, if they get a guilty verdict on her current counts, like 7 years in prison based on the sentencing guidelines. So she may be forced to do a plea deal because of the fact that she's facing so much time. She may be too scared to go in front of a jury. I don't know her circumstances. I, on purpose, I'm quite familiar with the allegations against Jen Shah, which was that she sold lead lists that intentionally defrauded elderly people by making them believe that they could have successful businesses by buying different product lines. However, I do want her to be innocent till proven guilty. And so, although I do comment on this a lot, I like to comment on both sides of a legal case. I like to take the view of the person, right? Like, defend, in a sense, Jen Shah's rights to be judged fairly, right? But then at the same time, I know the allegations and how dark they are, selling lead lists to, intentionally to vulnerable people or the elderly, to sell them products that they don't need or overpay for, and then they can't get their money back. Like, that's horrific. So it's a delicate balance when you're commenting on these types of things, because you do want to be fair to the person. They are a person, but you also know the allegations are horrific. And, I have this added layer of knowing the system really well, and I know the flaws in the system. So, like, for me, I'm always trying to balance that to give you guys a fair depiction of what's happening. Let's face it, it's like a scandalous group. I don't know why they thought Heather had done something. Like, of all the characters on the show, I have no scandals really on Heather. I have no scandals on Angie Harrington, and I have I don't even really have anything on Meredith. So the ones that I do have stuff like that's a little scandalous on is Lisa Barlow, Mary for sure. Oh my gosh, so much. A little bit Whitney because of her husband. And and Jenny. Jenny's been making the rounds now. So I don't know. Yeah. I guess nobody in that group really should be judging each other.